What's up, everybody?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of
The Coffee Breakup,
starring Marvin Schultz
and Christian Vieira.
That is us. All right, so long overdue, at least for us.
Definitely.
Videos are always coming out, though.
Yeah.
So
stop.
recently we had the episode of Red Flags in a Relationship. So it was only made sense for us to kind of go off of the same post with the same, Instagram, kind of keep the flow.
The flow going, the style.
Sure.
Whatever.
And so we wanted to do the green flags. We wanted to talk about good stuff. All right.
Positive
Obviously, before we begin, and I sound like a broken record, but for the people who are listening to us for the first time, know that you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You can, check out the little snippets. I know the podcast can be a little bit long sometimes, but at least you get the gist of what's going on within,
what's happening.
when we're promoting the episode. And if you're watching us on YouTube, you can listen to us on Spotify, iTunes, and even on Amazon. And if you're listening to on those, well, what better way to watch us and feel like you're part of the conversation? If we have a guest, then you can see the guest. You can see who is speaking at the time. I've had people who will talk and they're like, I don't even know who's who when I'm listening because you guys are almost the same. And I'm like, I don't understand because Marvin has a thick ass German accent.
How are you not gonna notice? But
anyways,
if you want to just tune in, and all the links are in the bio. Because a lot of people ask, like, where can we find
links are in the bio.
Yeah.
And I hope I ruptured everyone's eardrums because everyone keeps asking me, how do I watch? How do I listen? Everything.
Yeah, it's literally right there.
Yeah. Link is in the bio. Right underneath the bio, you'll see the link tree, and there you can follow us on everything that I just mentioned. We even have the website. We have a little bit of merchandise out there.
Support us. Check it out.
Honestly, I mean, it's all about support. The little pennies we get off of every item that we sell, it just goes into more studio time to continue producing content. So hopefully you guys can support us, and if not, I mean, keep liking, keep following, keep sharing. That's the number one thing. And commenting. Let us know what you guys think. And share your stories. Being vulnerable, being open, being able to communicate what we go through.
The whole point.
That's the whole point, because then you are now being an example to continue doing right.
Beautiful say.
That was good, right?
I like that. All right. Perfect.
Anyway, so we are going to, again, be discussing about green flags in a relationship. We're going to be going off of the same post, the same Instagram account. So, Marvin, would you like to begin?
Absolutely. First of all, it's the Rising Woman of the account.
The account is Rising Women on Instagram.
Okay, so green flags in a relationship. You feel safe to express yourself openly.
I love that one.
Really? Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's very important to be able to be comfortable to talk to your partner, the one you spend time with and energy. And it's like, how can you be with somebody and not be open about how you feel at any given moment?
It's almost like what I just said. I mean, when we ask for people to comment or even DM with any feedback of what we post or what the topics are about or any new topic ideas, a lot of people, they're a little bit hesitant. But if you feel that you feel that safe environment for you to share, so that we can build that community, it's almost the same thing as in a relationship, because you want to be able to comfortably talk about what's going on. You want to be open, whether it's good, whether it's bad. You don't want to feel any judgment coming back from how you're truly feeling.
Yeah. Or like, I can't talk about this because he's going to get upset and then it's going to change the vibe. Or there's a lot of people like, I don't want to bring up this because then they get upset or they get bothered or, So it's like when you're in that situation, it's like, how can you have a mature, healthy relationship when there are certain things that you are not comfortable in sharing, You
know what I think I've learned about that? It's more not what you say, it's how you say it.
The delivery.
Right, because a lot of people, they think like, I don't want to say how I feel because then it might change the vibe, or they'll get uncomfortable, or maybe they'll take it the wrong way. But if you learn how to deliver it in a way that they can sympathize and empathize with you, then that's the way that you can deliver how you're expressing without there being some sort of judgment or a change of culture.
I think that's very important. It's all about the delivery and how you bring it up, and also where, like, what setting you are in as well.
Yeah, you're not gonna say it in like space and like, hey, I think we should break up.
Yeah, or you with your friends, or you their friends, and maybe, hey, wait till you get home to talk about certain
Right.
So yeah,
I hate this. Okay,
you got the second one?
Sure. Disagreement doesn't threaten the relationship.
That's a good one. I mean, in any relationship, especially long-term relationships, and you go on for you dating for years in your relationship, you're gonna have disagreements. You're gonna have healthy arguments, I want to say, right? So I feel like when you have those disagreements, it's not always like, oh man, like we're fighting or this is a problem. Like, no, like let's tackle this. What's going on? How do you two people trying to coexist? It's not always easy. It's not always. It gets messy, and as long as you get together and you clean up that mess, I think that's a healthy green flag.
Ties into the first one where it's like you feel safe to express yourself openly. You know, you want to be able to, even though there's a disagreement, you have to understand that it's both of you guys against the problem, not you guys against each other because of the problem. So being able to, even if there's a disagreement, it's about, you know, presenting it and finding a way to, you know, find the solution to, or at least meet halfway, some compromise in order for that disagreement to become now some sort of agreement between both people.
Yeah, it's all like, hey, it's, you know, your partnership, let's tackle this together, versus instead of saying, hey, let's, you know, fight each other.
I mean, obviously, if there's, you know, you don't agree on the relationship, you know, that disagreement, it's not so much, hey, let's build it together. But even then, there's a healthy solution to,
healthy way of coping with that.
Yeah, coping with that or separating. You know, you don't. It doesn't have to be an argument. It doesn't have to be a problem. Even if there's a disagreement, we can mutually agree on the disagreement.
Yeah, I agree to disagree. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, yeah, I get that.
Man, are we vibing right now?
Man, this is good.
All right.
Okay, I got the next one.
Yeah.
Friendships and family connections outside of the romantic relationship are encouraged.
Friendships and family connections outside the romantic. Okay, good.
Like you know, like
I want you to have a partner, and your partner wants you to like spend time with me, and like still wants you to spend time with your family.
Exactly. Like yeah, I mean,
like Luch, you can relate, right?
Well, yeah, it's important that, you know, your partner has their own social life, right? I think that's important.
Well, you met them like that,
right?
And I always say that because people try to change, or they're fixers. They think that, oh, this person's bad for you, or like you're acting like this, and it's like, if you met me this way and now you're forcing me to change, like you need to understand, like I'm the one that needs to change myself. But it all comes with, you can't force me to stop seeing people unless I'm willing to do it myself.
Right, but also in the sense of encouraging that, like your healthy friendships and yours.
At the same, if they're gonna be with healthy people, you don't want to be now that toxic and manipulative person of pulling you away from who it is that you are. And then obviously, if they're good people, you want them to spend time with them. You want them to share experiences with them. You don't want to just be like, hey, include me,
or just be with me,
or just be with me.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's a breathing ground for, like, you know, unhealthy relationships. You know, don't hang out with your friends. Cancel. Just be with me.
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen toxicity, and it's almost like obsession.
Yeah, like unhealthy. It's like, you have your own life, I have my own life, and you know.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oops. What do we got next? Were you done with that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
No,
it was an abrupt stop.
No, I appreciate it. Okay.
All right. Boundaries around physical touch, sexuality, communication, and personal belongings are respected.
Boundaries.
The fuck you laughing at?
Physical touch. Well, no, like, you know, because I was laughing about the personal belongings are respected. I guess it's like, you're not gonna go through my stuff, or you're not gonna go through, you know, each other's. You know,
yeah, like phones, or going through like the drawers and
looking for shit.
The closet, like their clothes. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. That's what I'm assuming this is.
Yeah, I agree. And also like the personal, like, because it's talking about physical touch, like, you know, like they're your partner, but they're not your property. So it's like, you know, like that. Just came up with that. Yeah, because it's like, people think, oh, just because that's my partner, they're supposed to be okay with wanting to have sexual encounters every moment of the day.
Or if I touch them a certain way, that it's okay. Well, maybe, you know, it's just uncomfortable for them, or maybe they've had some sort of past traumas because of that. That needs to be communicated better.
Exactly. Hey, I don't like the way you touch me, like, here or whatever. It's like, yeah, they're your partner, but they're not, you know, yeah.
Like, we're here, like, don't be touching me. Like,
you're out in public, it's like, hey, I'm uncomfortable. Like, you know, you have to be able to see that.
Yeah, and it comes with a lot of it with trust too, because, you know, obviously there's boundaries with, you know, personal belongings and the communication. It needs to be respected, because if you're going to be in a relationship with someone that you feel like you need to go through their phone, who is the problem? Yeah. You know, it's not going to be them. I mean, unless they're giving you reason and suspicion, but there's it's almost like what Dr. Hisi said. Mm-hmm. It's, you know, you are love for that person. Like, you are in that relationship to be for them. And if they mess up, you know what? You're now in the position where, if, like, okay, can we do this? If I'm still interested and I still want to be a part of it, you know, let's move forward. But I mean, if you trying to look for something, or you chasing something, or you think that, you know, getting into their personal space, like, that's not going to make them stop for them to, like, what, you know, whatever it is that's going on.
Exactly. Yeah. Now you're projecting your own insecurities on that person, you know, so that's a problem.
Man, you spitting flames today, boy. All right.
Each person is responsible for their energy, emotions, and behavior. You said it all the time. We say it all the time. It's like, you have your own life, you have your own happiness, and I have my own, and then we come together and this is where we create that magic, that spark.
Absolutely. Yeah. Each person is responsible for their energy, emotions, and behavior.
Yeah. Like, your own happiness, your own emotional awareness. You know, like a lot of people get out of a relationship and they're still dealing with some trauma. Now they're meeting other people
and they're forcing that trauma onto others.
Somebody else, and the other person's like, "What am I doing? Like I didn't do anything," and then or why are you reacting in this manner? And it's like, well, you're still dealing with certain trauma from your past experience.
I also think that it's almost like you know, sometimes like you'll have an issue in a relationship or like maybe nothing's going on, but like instead of you controlling your energy or that emotion to solve it together as a partnership, you're almost there expecting them to be the ones to bring that energy to bring you up. Now, relationships, obviously you want that kind of that communication of being able to fill, you know, I guess your glass. Like I want you to also be happy. I want you to have good energy. I want you to be good emotion. So I know I need to project that onto you,
sure,
but exactly. I need to do that myself in order for you to also match me. Like it's almost like you wanting to do it because you see me having that energy and you wanting to, like, you know, you get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. And it's sometimes a little tricky because this is somebody you care about. If they're sad or if they're not happy, you're not going to be always happy and sad, happy either, because it's like, man, this person is not doing good. Well, now I don't feel good either. But you really have to push yourself and be like, okay, I'm only responsible for me.
Yeah, but I feel like if you do your job, it'll reciprocate on their end, because it's almost like you're indirectly, you know, uplifting them and giving them the positive energy.
Absolutely, yeah. Like you feed off of each other almost in a way as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, what's next? What do we got? The climate of the relationship is consistent, not chaotic.
That's a good one. And it's also like those roller coaster relationships where it's like one day it's really, really good and it's really, really bad, and that fighting and also that toxic behavior. A lot of people feed off of that because it's like, oh, they have nothing. Their life is boring or whatever, and that fighting and that toxicity, that's kind of like what gets them going. And I think a healthy relationship doesn't have that. It's like,
that's the kind of nasty.
Yeah,
when you think about that.
I mean,
or like when people think like some arguments are healthy or whatever.
You don't think that? You don't think any argument is right? Because I think you once told me arguments are not.
So look at what the first thing said. Disagreements don't threaten the relationship. If anything, I think it can strengthen. So yeah, an argument should be in the right direction. But I mean, you don't want to just force arguments to say, because then the makeup sex is great. Or then I want them to chase after me so I'm going to be a dick because I want to feel wanted or something like that.
I know what you're
That's sort of manipulation of chaotic, we can say, based on this one. It's more of like having some consistency within the relationship, because you always want to be happy. You always want to, you know, uplift your partner. Or maybe you always want to be messing around with your partner, like little jokes, and you have little pranks on each other. But an actual full-blown like, oh, I'm not going to talk to him for like a few hours because I want him to feel upset, or I want him to like chase after me or show up to my house. Like that sort of like toxicity, chaotic behavior is...
Yeah, it's not healthy. I remember because I was in a relationship like that in my last relationship where it was like we would... The only time things were doing good, we would travel, or we would we were looking for the next high, the next happiness. We come back, and then everything is, you know, shit. And then we're like, okay, where's the next job? You know, and it's like you don't realize it when you're in it, but then you look back, like me from the outside, I'm like, bro, what was I doing? It's like it was only good 2 days out of the month, you know, 2 months out of the year, that type of thing. And it's like, bro, is this really something that you want? Now I'm 27, I'll be 28, and it's like I crave that consistency, that calmness, that serenity, almost like, you know, that's what I want.
Right. I agree. Yeah. All right. You got next.
Conflicts are spaces where growth can occur, not where harm is inflicted verbally or physically. Yeah, it's
literally what we just talked about.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you grow from this. It's not a fight. It's an argument, and from that you can grow. Like, okay, like you and I have a disagreement. Let me learn from where you're coming from, and then you can learn from where I'm coming from, and now we can move forward in the right direction as a better individual and as a better partnership, I think. Right?
I always say that experience is your best teacher. So if you've never experienced it, how are you going to learn and grow from it? And sometimes you have these conflicting conversations or arguments, or in this case, conflicts, that, you know, you should be able to use that to fuel the relationship, to now learn more on a deeper level between both of you of how you're feeling, to then obviously move forward and feel like you guys are growing together after you guys have overcome some sort of disagreement. But a conflict shouldn't be, you know, it shouldn't get to the point where you're now surpassing, or where it's physical or verbal abuse, to the sense that I know that I'm going to hurt you by what I'm saying. More of, this is what's bothering me based on what's happening.
Exactly.
Instead of, I'm mad, I want you to feel mad as well because of how you made me feel.
Well, a lot of people, when they get mad, they say things that they don't really mean, or maybe they do mean, and it's really hurtful somebody. You can't take back what you said, and this is also what it kind of goes off of. when we have a disagreement, I'm not inflicting pain on you just because I say certain things. That's so it's like, okay, let me be aware of that, and try to kind of grow from that argument.
Yeah.
Kind of like work towards it in the right direction. I think that's important.
Yes. What's the next one? You support each other and lift each other up in front of others. There's no belittling or put downs.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's like this is your partner, but there's relationships where I guess some people they make fun of each other, or they in a way that it's like it's not healthy. Like it's like you're talking crap about this person in front of their friends or in front of other people.
Yeah, like you're there together with like everyone together, and then when you guys split up into your own groups of friends, it's like, bro, I can't stand this bitch. Type shit. You know what I mean? You've seen it, like that's not something. And then even in front of people, like that may translate into the full group where now you're speaking in a, or maybe something personal that happened, probably a conflict that you guys had agreed on that you bring up in front of people. So now it's like, you're including that, and it could just be that belittling or that conflicting issue that you're now bringing to light in front of people.
Yeah. Making that person feel like inferior or something like that. Like it's not healthy.
Absolutely.
You can ask intimate questions or talk about something vulnerable without worrying that it will be used against you.
What? Move your hand. I can't read. You can ask intimate questions or talk about something vulnerable without worrying that it will be
used against you.
Okay. These are all tying into each other.
Yeah, they are, but I guess this is when you're comfortable enough to ask.
I think it's the details, yeah.
Yeah, ask questions like,
What are you going to ask me?
No.
Oh, they were going to ask me an intimate question right now. All right. Without worrying that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Perfect. So now, I'm back on track now. I get the full feel for it.
You get it?
Yeah. So, I mean, sometimes it comes also with disagreements or, maybe in the middle of conversations, like you want to open up or you want to express yourself, which was the first one, openly. And, I don't want you to then come back at me and say, well, you told me this and just make that an issue when it should have never been one.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that this is something that really grows, like, as you become more comfortable with this person, because when you start dating at first, you still have that, it's still, everything is still very fresh. The more longer you date this person, the more comfortable you will become with this person, and then I think trust will also build off of that.
I'm trying to think of like what can be an intimate question.
So if I like, hey, you want to eat my ass, and then it's like, and then later on you're not gonna be like, yo, you wanted me to eat your ass in front of your friends or something.
Yeah,
that's
it's like
fucked up. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's like one example I could be throwing out.
It's a good one though,
right?
So I'm trying to think what could be an intimate question.
Something like that, something sexual, where like, oh, I like you doing this, and then it's like you go around and telling your group chat about it.
Or then you saying it like, oh, well, you ate my ass, and making them
like in public. That would be fucked up.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's move on. I don't want to talk about ass eating anymore. We had enough conversations about that.
That's your turn.
It's me? All right. In conflict, both of you take responsibility, are accountable for how you show up rather than one person always or never being right. Goes back to everything that we said.
Yeah. But there's some people who's like, they can never admit, hey, listen, I was in the wrong.
Dude, I don't want to say names, but one of our boys who's not here right now, who we always hang out with, don't say the name, but you by now, okay, good. Okay. That man is never wrong, bro. Never wrong.
He'll die for like what he believes.
Dude, it's funny because he will find a solution, like he will find the right answer even in the wrong answer. So you can be like, oh, the sky is green. I'm like, the sky is not green, or it's blue. And he goes, what I'm saying is that it's a color, and green and blue are both colors. So I'm just like, you're right, but that's not the argument that we're talking about.
I get it. You find a way around it.
But yeah, so it's important for people to take accountability and almost be responsible for whatever it is that's occurring. And again, it's all about delivery, because I can tell you, like, you're making me feel like shit, instead of I can say, this is how this made me feel, So that having that delivery, it's almost like changes the perspective and also the climate of the conversation for it to be more vulnerable, more open. So then there's more understanding instead of blame, which is where you'll have the, oh no, I'm right because I'm blaming you.
Yeah, it's also where empathy comes in. Like, oh, like instead of saying you did this so I did that, it's like, okay, this is where I'm coming from. This is how I feel, and this was my reaction towards it. How can we work towards to kind of finding the common ground on this issue rather than casting blame onto each other? Because like, how are you gonna, if two people point fingers at each other, you're not gonna win. At the end of the day, it's like, okay, what did I do? how could I do better next time? And it's like, what made me feel this way? What made me act out of behavior?
Yeah, I feel like in most arguments or relationships, it's almost, I feel like there's a little bit of blame on both sides always, because you can always bring up the argument of, well, if you didn't do this, I would have never reacted, or I would have never said, I would have never done that. And there's a little bit of truth to that, but there's also the level of, well, you know, I've been making you feel like this for you to do that, to then create that chain reaction for me to now, instead of being an adult to resolve it, I'm now doing it back to you or doing something else to you.
Very well said.
Very well said.
Next one, which I actually really like, the relationship inspires you to be the best, to be your best, to be accountable, and to shine love into the world. And I wrote something down similar. It says you feel challenged in a good way, meaning this person wants you to do better, like you for yourself. Like they inspire you. They, whatever it is, they're successful, they're fit, or whatever they're doing in their life is like, man, I want to become better for myself. This person is doing all these things. Let me be good for myself as well. Like it rubs off of you rub off of each other. And a lot of times, let's say we're together and you do so much, like this kind of reminds me of you, because like when we're together, like you know, I'm very proud of you and the things that you're doing. So it's like, man, I want to be better too, because Chris is doing so well. Let me be better. And if you have that in a relationship, I think that's very important. This person is, I got you. This person is ambitious. I want to be ambitious too. I want to be successful too. Whatever that is, career-wise, fitness-wise, whatever. But I think that's important. That's a big green flag.
One of the biggest things that I do for people, because I guess when I was younger, I mean, I've done a lot of wrongs, and this is just not relationship, this is just in my life, where I wasn't really happy with who I was and what I was doing. So I wanted to kind of shake things up within my own life. So obviously in my circle, whether it's new or the same, I want the same as well for them. I don't want to continue doing what I was doing 5 years ago, because that was just boring. I'm a different person. I don't want to continue going out, you know, aggressively like I was, or doing, you know, being exposed to drugs and freely doing it whenever I wanted to, or that reckless life. It's not what I wanted. So as I started growing up and I knew that I was doing better and I had these goals and that I wanted to achieve in the circle that I have, I want to encourage that as well, because I want my circle to stay tight because I trust them. But I also want them to be uplifted to create new things and to be better for themselves. So it's all about also who you kind of put yourself around, but in a direct relationship. I obviously want to hold you accountable. I did that with the same buddy. He wanted to do video games. Like he wanted to stream his stuff because he loves playing video games. And I'm like, all right, pussy, well, when are you going to start? You keep telling me that you want to start. You never start. So he's like, oh man, probably like before December or whatever. I'm like, pick a day. He picks the last day of November, whatever. Before December, picks the last day. I'm like, that's basically December, but whatever. But I'm like, okay, so November 30th, you're going to do it. He goes, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm like, okay. 2 weeks into November, I'm like, where are we? Look, screenshot. I'm sending you. You have 2 weeks. You told me you're going to do it. He goes, oh yeah, I'm sending everything, whatever. Another week goes by. Hey, where are you? You know, you told me we were going to do this, right? Holding you accountable, because I know you're not going to do it yourself because you like being lazy. Boom. 2 days before, he's like, oh, can you guys log in and see if you can see or listen to what I'm saying? He finally fucking did it. Nice. Because I was on his ass for it.
Exactly.
And it's the same thing with you and even with Luch sometimes, because I know Luch sometimes he'll be a little bit bummed out. I'm like, no. You said you were going to do this, right? Let's go and do it the right way.
Exactly. And when you find that in a relationship, your partner, directly, indirectly, that's a beautiful thing. When I'm with somebody and they try to push me to be better, to do better for myself, man, that's great. That's great. And that's a big green flag, I think.
And I also think that because a lot of people, that challenge, they kind of like it hurts them, or they might find it a little bit conflicting when it initially happens, until they realize that you want to give them, you see more potential in them to do more, yet they're only comfortable with where they're at.
Yeah, they're complacent in a way.
And they want it. So I hate it when people, and I'm sorry to say this, but people come to us, and especially to me all the time, and they'll tell me issues in their life. And it's like, if you're going to come today with a problem, the next time you come to me, don't give me the same problem. Give me a solution to the problem, because we already talked about this, you know? And that's about, you know, that encouragement of, okay, let's discuss what's going on. I'm listening. I'm sympathizing. I want to know what's going on with you. This is what I would say, you know, unbiased, because I know you're emotionally attached to whatever the situation is. This is what I would do, okay? Maybe if you can use your logic other than your emotion and your heart, you'll probably make a smarter decision. It's going to be hard because your heart's going to be pulling you a different way. but I feel like this is going to be the right thing. So in the next time when someone comes in, I don't want you to now be complacent. Like, you can do better. So it's all about that encouragement and pushing forward. Like, you have the tools to do more. You have the tools to do the right thing, or to just progress in your life, but you're choosing to stay. And a lot of people, when they feel that challenge, they get annoyed because you're hitting a nerve.
Yeah.
Because they know that they can do better, but they're still choosing to do wrong.
Yeah.
So in that relationship, you want to find that almost healthy balance where you can continue pushing and they want to then be encouraged to do better.
Yeah, I think it's important because, like, I always think the worst thing you can do in life is be complacent. And, we're getting older, but we're still very much young. And it's like, there's so much you can do in this world. And even for myself, like, I don't want to do one thing for the rest of my life. I want to do 100 things for the next, 50 years or whatever. And it's like, when you find somebody who can, like, let's do this, let's do that, grow this way, grow that way, where you are like this as well. And I feel like, in a way, and it's like, it's such a it's a breath of fresh air when you're with somebody who's on that same level, who's as ambitious as you when it comes to pretty much everything and anything.
What I like about this one is that it applies to all relationships, because it's not just intimate relationships, with your partner. Right. It's also with your friends, because it goes back to what I was saying, that circle, you want to be able to always be encouraging each other in that group to always do better.
Yeah, and whether it is us, like, in a friend, or us friends, or our mutual friend,
even family or something.
Yeah, sister, brother,
still whatever. A relationship.
Exactly. So this is a very good one.
All right. Last but not least for this, do you have any other green flags you've written down?
So I have one.
All right. Let's finish with this one.
Okay.
All right. When times are hard or stress hits, you are both willing to learn in, or give each other. All right, let me start over, because last time on the red flags one, there was one that I didn't understand, because I feel like she made a typo and I don't want this to happen again. When times are hard or stress hits, you are both willing to lean in or give each other space without withholding love or punishing each other.
This is good. So I guess, like, when things are hard, like, you're going through something, or one person in that relationship, and it's like, okay, like, your partner is supposed to be your rock, like your safe haven. It's like, if something's going wrong in the world, I want to be able to retreat to my partner in confidence and be able to be vulnerable and confide in that person. Be like, hey, this is what's going on. I lost my job, or, I had a disagreement with Christian. This is what's going on. This is why I'm upset. And it's like, your partner is supposed to be there to build you back up again, and not to break you down.
Catch you when you fall, and then also, give you slack. Yeah. So, like, then, you have that. They have the choice to come back instead of you yanking them.
It's back. Also, like, hey, babe, today's really not my day. I'll call you tomorrow. And you being aware enough and be like, okay, like, I'll trust you. Like, I'll give you that space, and call me when you calm down a little bit. Call me when you're ready. And when you're in that, without saying it, without withholding love in that way. So I think that's important as well. Very important.
Very healthy.
Very healthy.
So now you got some. I'm starting to think of other things that are more obvious. So, like, what do you have written down? Because I feel like mine's dumb. But
no, like, for example, you cherish your alone time. Is something I wrote down. Like, in a healthy relationship, you're not always on top of each other. It's like, okay, I have my own space. You have my own thing. Whether for me, let's say I love going to the gym. When you're gonna get into a relationship, for me, I don't stop going to the gym. I still do my little things. Maybe she loves doing yoga. Don't stop doing yoga just because you got into a relationship. That's your thing. I think that's healthy to continue to do those things.
That's all you got?
No, I have more.
Keep going.
Oh, this is kind of ties back to the other one. You want similar things in life. Your values are the same. Kindness, honest, ambition. You both strive to be, which is what we're saying, the best version of yourself, And I think there's certain things that you don't want to compromise. If I'm an honest person, I have these values, and the person I'm dating, they don't, how are you going to compromise? How are you going to feed off of each other? I think that's kind of like not ideal. So you want to be with somebody who shares the same values.
Yeah, a lot of people say that opposites attract, which I feel, what do you think about that statement?
The opposite attract?
Yeah.
I think it depends, man. I think it depends on what it is, because there's certain things that if you're the opposite of me, like, I wouldn't be attracted to you. Let's say opposite. Okay, I'm a very clean person, organized, nothing attracts me of somebody who's messy or somebody.
You have a comment? Yeah, he looked up like,
what's going on here? Like, for me, the opposite of that wouldn't be attractive to me. Like, I want somebody who's neat and organized and clean as well. Why would I be attracted to somebody?
You've never been attracted to someone that,
like, a mess?
Not a mess, right? There's a lot of opposites to you. But for example, like, I think a lot of people, when they say opposites attract, it's almost the intrigue of the exploration of what their lifestyle is that you're not accustomed to.
Oh, let me see.
And there's a bit of mystery there that you want to explore and learn about. Now, I feel like it's never going to work down the line unless you find values and similar values between each other, because there's more substance than what you think is the opposite. But I feel like that's usually when people say, oh, opposites attract, I feel like it's almost like that challenge of what you've always been used to. And you're interested or, again, intrigued of wanting to find out more of what that opposite is.
What that world is like, almost like.
Yeah, but I don't think it ever works. Because I think it's more of what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't
think about it long term. Like, you want to be with someone that you have similar values with.
Similar values are important. Like, you got opposite for what, let's say thinking learn long term, 10, 20, 30 years, if that's the goal for yourself. You think opposite will attract all the time. And I'm not saying you wouldn't be with somebody like a clone of yours, like, but there's certain, you want to have.
That'd be weird.
Yeah.
Imagine you with long hair and no beard.
What the fuck? No, you want somebody who's, has some differences as you, but at the same time, I don't think the opposite on that spectrum is really ideal to be worked out with. No. Anything else you got on the top of your head?
No, I mean, I can come up with a little bit. You have a lot, bro.
No, a lot of these were I just kind of went off of that. You don't have to compromise on the things that matter to you the most. I think it's important. Okay. We talk about compromise. Compromise is important, and I talked to somebody about it earlier. And I think compromise is important. Yeah, somebody. Okay. Compromise is important. You're not always going to see eye to eye. But when it's like the important things, what happened?
Nothing.
When it's the important things in life, I think that's something that you shouldn't compromise. The things that make you. Let's say for me, for example, I love traveling. Would I compromise with somebody who doesn't travel, who has 9 to 5, has 3 kids, and can't really leave the state or whatever? No, like could I make it work? Sure, but is that really the life that I want for both of
right? But like when you're gonna date someone, are you really going to? Like, do you have this checklist that everything needs to check off?
No, of course not. But like, there's certain things that you don't want to.
There's certain things.
There's certain things, and I'm sure you might have the same thing.
Maybe I don't know.
You don't know. I don't fucking know.
It's early, bro.
Sorry, but no, I think there's some things you can compromise. A lot of things, and there's so many things that you shouldn't compromise because those are the things that make you you. Why would you want to compromise on being yourself?
Yeah. No, I agree.
Like trying to find an example for you, for example, but I don't know. It's hard to like.
I don't know either. I don't know because I'm just like whatever.
Yeah, you're like. I had a friend. He's like, man, that Chris, like he just open to dating anybody?
Yeah, actually,
midgets, porn stars,
everything, bro. Because I'm open on building relationships, right? So whether it can become something more than something platonic, maybe something business oriented, where it's professional. I like meeting people. And so I don't see things as what are you laughing at?
No, I was just thinking about when
like if a midget, you said midget, so we'll use midget as an example. Or a little person
in a business relationship.
If they reach out to me because maybe they're interested or they want to explore, I'll be like, listen,
carry on, go.
I admire the balls or the ovaries you had to step up and write to me. You know what? We'll meet. I'm not guaranteeing anything will go past that.
All right. But you're open. I like that.
But I'm open because it takes guts, and I appreciate and I acknowledge that, because me on my side, if I were to DM or write to someone and like if you take the chance, and that's why I tell people date often, meet people, allow people, like if you're comfortable, but you never know what you're going to be exposed to. So, I mean, maybe this little person can bring some sort of value in my life that it won't be, a relationship. Maybe it can turn into a relationship. Who knows?
Who knows? Exactly. Okay, I like that. Yeah, no, I've had a lot of friends be like, man, I like you guys together. You guys accommodate each other well. You and Christian, you're this way and he's that way. Like, it's just fun. It's just a little funny to me. I like that. You're like a very free spirit when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck it. Porn stars, OnlyFans, midgets, whatever.
Everybody's got their own story, bro.
Everybody got their shot.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was thinking of other green flags, like in relationships. Like, I would be like, if he leaves his phone, like if he goes to the bathroom and leaves his phone out, that's, I think, that's a clear cut. I think these are more
instead of like
these are more superficial green flags.
Yeah, like
when he puts the phone upside down,
putting it down,
and then you start like wondering like, why is it upside down? What if somebody calls? And then he's like,
oh, let me go to the bathroom.
And then he takes his phone. Or it's also people that said, like, if they're at a restaurant and they take their phones to the bathroom with them, they're like, worry about yourself, sis.
Oh, shit.
Like, those are, right? You take your phone to the bathroom. You worry about yourself. Yeah. Yeah, that's like a green flag. What, you got any green flags that you can think of off the top of your head? Like, okay things that you could do in a relationship? Yeah, like what's a green flag in a relationship? Like, I think, being open and honest, or some people will be like, when he doesn't DM girls. No. That's like, I think one of the things that should be done in a relationship. Or I'm sorry to cut you off, but there'll be like, there's memes that are like, the guy that I'm talking to, he doesn't even have social media, or like he posts once every couple years.
Yeah, like one picture every 18 months.
Was that what reminds me? Did you see the picture that our boy posted yesterday after like 2 years?
No, I didn't.
You didn't?
I didn't.
Oh man, you gotta check it out.
I gotta go on it.
You finally did.
What's another thing? Oh, I guess like an opposite of like the red flag is, let's say you're with somebody and you're sick or whatever, and they like nurture you back to health. Like I have a friend who she had a surgery done, and her boyfriend, long-term boyfriend, he didn't do anything. Yeah, he didn't do anything for her. So it's like when you're in a relationship with somebody, like you think, let's say you long-term, you want to be somebody. Like, you want somebody that will help you, that will support you when you're out of commission, when you're sick, when you're ill, you had surgery, or you're out with a cold, or even think bigger. Like when you're in a relationship or you're married, you have kids, you're not always going to be able to do everything. So somebody who matches that when you're down, that's a green flag. Like if you're sick, hey, I don't feel like like hey, your partner brings you food, or they help you, or they do the things that you normally do, but you can't because you're out of commission. I think that's a green flag.
What I think another green flag is when you're able to discuss your day and they're listening instead of, because this I'm at fault for this, because sometimes a lot of people will come to me for stuff and I'll just give them solutions, and I'm learning that now it's more about listening, because they just need someone to listen. They just need someone to listen to their problems, not give them solutions.
And I guess sometimes they don't even want you to, like, they just want you to be there to listen to them undivided, and you don't even got to say anything or too much or give them feedback, or because I know you're very what's the word I'm looking for? No, like I can't find the word right now. Whatever. You want to find a solution for something, but sometimes they don't want a solution. They just want you, Christian.
I'm learning.
Yeah, and as time goes on, you become more aware of it.
Well, if people come to me for advice, I'm gonna be a dick, because I know you're venting to me, but I'm gonna be a dick, but I'm gonna give you the solution. But don't come. It's the same thing that I said. Don't come to me the next time with the same problem.
Do you give people the option, like, hey, like, what is it that you want from me? Do you want a concrete solution, or do you want me just be an outlet? You just want me to listen?
Well, I don't even do that. Like, for example, people write to us and they're like, hey guys, I need advice. All right.
Right.
That's advice.
That's advice.
So now I'm going to give you what you need to hear.
Okay.
But if people will just vent, then it's obviously a different relationship and a different conversation, because they won't even be like, I need a vent. They'll just be like, oh my God, this happened. And I'm learning to now just be like, oh, okay, I understand. Like, I'm listening, instead of, well, why did you let this bitch do that to you? Or why did you even decide to be there? Like, that's not what they
But deep down, it's like, man, that's what you want to say, right?
Well, because I'm not in the situation. So a lot of times when that's why I'm open to different things, because I'm open to every possibility, even in relationships and even to problems. So when there's a circumstance that gets presented, it's like we need to play devil's advocate. Like, maybe you have a reason for acting that way that I need to see, instead of you're just being a dick for acting like that. So now I got to put myself in your shoes and understand why you're doing it. So then that comes with the whole empathy thing, that when people start talking, you found the word?
Pragmatic is what you are.
Dealing with things sensibly and realistically in a way that is based on practical. Oh, I spit on your phone. I'm sorry.
Clean that shit up.
Practical rather than theoretical considerations. I am pragmatic.
You're pragmatic. You're like, this is what's going on. This is how we can fix it. Instead of
when it comes to advice,
yes,
I am pragmatic.
You're very pragmatic. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No, I think I'm done.
Okay. Well, I think this was a good episode. I think
that's it. You don't have any more green flags? You have any more obvious green flags? Like when he holds your hand in public, or what if he lets go? That's a red flag.
Is it really?
He walks into a store and he's like, hey, go over there. There's a honey over here.
I'll meet you when we're done.
I can't hear you. Speaking to the mic.
Yeah, but it'll pick it up.
When you guys
put them higher. Yeah. Just has to yell it to them.
On when they post pictures of you on social media.
Oh, green flag.
You never said that?
No. When you post pictures of your partner?
Are you not, bro? You sit there the entire episode. You don't listen to us.
I did.
Oh, then why are you asking if we said it?
No,
All right, piece of shit.
Getting some text.
That is a good green flag, actually.
Yeah, but at the same time, bro, there's some people who have their relationship out on social media and they still do shit behind their back.
Not constantly posting pictures, but
Show them off. Show them off. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or like on your story,
sometimes
even where
not
it's
posting pictures means you're hiding something.
that's true because then you still have people that wonder: is he in a relationship? Is he not? Is he talking to
and
someone?
you still get those DMs on the side.
I get you.
So I think that's a good one. Maybe not even on as a post because a lot of people are using social media and Instagram as businesses or like they create again this highlight reel that's all fake.
Well, if you have a business, it's different. If you have your regular person on Instagram,
I'm saying even for example, girls that just post their ass because they know they're going to get the followers, it's going to bring them the sponsorships and the partnerships.
Yes.
That's still their business, right?
It is.
And if they were to post a dude, it's like,
but then
unfollow,
you see all these
unfollow.
bunch of girls are still, that's their business. But they're once in a while they post.
Yeah,
their
once in
man.
a blue moon.
They post
Or
their
at
man.
least
Thing is
on
still
their
live?
story.
Yeah,
Because if
their
they because the
At
story
least.
doesn't at least
24 hours.
reflect.
Yeah.
Where they post like a dinner, like an expensive dinner, and they
No, you piece of
Only
shit.
on
No.
they show up to watch.
We mean like if
No,
you're
I'm
in a
kidding.
relationship, like you literally post them, like as even if it's just on your story, because at least you're showing to the world.
Like, hey, there's somebody else out there.
Yeah, like I'm making them feel special enough because, and too bad that's a big thing now when they're like, wait, you're gonna put me on your Instagram, like so it's almost like that elevation of a different relationship status.
Yeah.
To reach that social media exposure.
Yeah, like you're making it like public almost. Like, hey, this is what I'm announcing.
That is a green flag. That's a good one, man. You got any more there in the?
I would say, let me see. Another green flag, I would say, sometimes your partner agreeing with you in front of other people, even though they don't agree. They don't agree, but they're on your side.
They
But then
support
you're-
you in public,
yes,
and
they're
then
on
but
side.
then they criticize you.
No, I think he means more of if we're in an argument or there's a disagreement,
though you're
I'm gonna
wrong,
agree with you, and
even
then
though
when we
you're
get
wrong.
home, I'm gonna be like, hey babe,
we're wrong.
This is what happened.
look, I know I didn't fully agree with what you were
Can you
saying.
imagine your girl's like, nah, he's wrong. How
Yeah.
embarrassing that is.
Because-
Or vice versa. Or you say that to your girl. No, you're wrong. That's embarrassing. You should be on the same team, right?
I also think it's how how
how.
it's delivered rather than because you can say, well,
babe.
it's not. There's also the possibility that this may happen instead of like, no, you idiot.
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
But that too bad that is a good one because a lot of people say it. They're like, listen, if we're in public, like don't like we should be a team no
Exactly,
matter
we
what
should be a
happens.
team,
Like
no matter
we
what.
should still
Your
agree.
relationship.
But I mean, I'm obviously not gonna be like if I have a partner and she's like, oh, all women should be paid more than men. I'm gonna tell her fuck off.
I mean,
'Cause-
as long as it's a respectful conversation.
Yes.
Then I think you should be on the same team. And then again, you go back home, you talk about it, and then you talk out your differences.
Yeah.
But alone.
Yeah,
It's a good one.
Not in public. Not in
Yeah,
public.
you were in a relation. Well, you've been in a long term relationship, so you probably have. Do you have anything else, bro? Like you probably. Yeah, you got.
you got the heat.
You're bombarding me right
you got
now.
the
No, bro. I mean,
Freaking out back here.
because I mean, you've gone through everything from the good and the bad. So I mean, I'm sure you have a little bit of experience.
Wisdom.
Those things come out of the top of the head right now.
Thinking right now.
I could probably think of something else, but right now, I think those are green flags.
Marvin, I don't want to drop the bomb, bro, but I know that you've recently started seeing someone.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything that you can bring to the table with a green flag that you probably had from her? Because you brought her around. We met her.
You met her. Yeah.
That is a huge green
was a
flag
big
in a
step.
relationship
That was a
because
big step.
think of it from her point of view. I mean, I know it's still very fresh, but I mean, you're getting back into the swing of things. You actually brought someone for the first time in like 4 years,
Yeah,
right?
that was a big step. Yeah, that was a big step for me. But always that is a green flag. Like they bring you around. They're the people that they care about.
Because a lot of people, like, I mean, I've talked to girls in the past where they're going to be like, when am I going to meet your friends? So right off the bat, they're looking at me as, oh, this is a huge red flag for them because it's like, we're always hanging out, but it's only us. But then he'll make time for his friends, which is still fine.
Mm-hmm.
But there's that transfer where it's like, okay, it gets to the point where you're going to want to start bringing
yeah,
that
it
person.
becomes more of a relationship.
yeah, like-
I think they see it that way.
Yeah,
It's
but
like,
she
oh,
was-
this is legit.
Exactly. When we started dating at first, it was something we talked about. Like, and we were both on the same page when it comes to that. Like, it's like I don't just bring anybody around my friends, around you guys, because it's a big deal for me. So, but she's the same way. I haven't met her friends. I was gonna meet her friends, whatever. I haven't met them either. But like, it's like for both of us, it's important that it's when it becomes more serious, you meet the people that you care about. You guys. And
That is true.
That
Yeah.
is, yeah. So, some people they just bring anybody around, but I think if you really value this person, and depending on who you are, it's a big step up,
dude. So then, for you to make the decision to move in this direction, because for you to do that, obviously a lot has already happened. Not a lot, but enough has happened for you to feel comfortable enough. What like have there been other green flags that you've seen for you to continue feeling more and more comfortable and it growing?
Yeah, it should be all fresh to you, bro. You should start.
I mean,
yeah, that's
like same thing that we talked about. We have healthy disagreements. She comes from a place of empathy where she puts herself in my position.
I love that.
Yeah, and she's like, important. Okay, I get where you're coming from, or this is how you feel. I understand. And she has no problem apologizing when she's wrong, which is something rare for a lot of women, to be honest. Yeah, like I've been in relationships.
I think anyone.
No, but I mean,
mostly women.
You've seen those memes.
I would say.
You've seen those memes.
This is biased though, bro. If we had a girl there, she'd start popping off on you guys.
I mean, I guess, man. But you've seen those memes where it's like a woman they accountability and they like avoid it. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
You haven't? It's like
I would say that because this happens to me. I would say that in the beginning of a relationship, when I got into a relationship, I will be the one not to ever say sorry. But then by time passing by, I ended up being the one to always try to fix a relationship. That's always say sorry. So that's what I say. Women
are you the only one though? Does she ever say, "Hey, I apologize"? Because she has a strong personality. I don't think I've ever heard her say sorry. I don't think I've ever heard her say.
No, it's mostly me right now.
But then again, I
know. Yeah.
I feel like you're the cause of all of this.
You dumb fuck.
It's like, what is she gonna apologize for? She's just doing what she's supposed to do.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Maybe I'm just talking shit. I'm being biased.
Boy. No, but yeah, like so she has no problem. She has no problem like apologizing when she's in the wrong, which I admire, and vice versa. I mean, I'm a very honest and humble person when it's like, hey, I fucked up.
But you're also highly opinionated. Also, like, do you feel like that sometimes it challenges certain aspects of relationships? Because for example, I hate sometimes what you put on Twitter, right? And it drives me insane because you're very vocal and very one-sided. But I need to understand that. So how does that translate into your real relationship or in public when you speak with people where you're still highly opinionated?
That's definitely a green flag. If they act the same way they act with you at the house in front of other people.
Ooh,
that's a good green flag.
Good ones.
That's where I got that from.
Yeah,
you were saying.
Well, okay. Well, we'll get back to that one.
Yeah. So we have a very open dialogue, and I love
because I know that because when we hang out with Gabe sometimes like we'll get in discussions but it's healthy discussions.
But because I like where he's coming from. He's a very intellectual person. I love his feedback, and I like the way he thinks. I'm like, let me get more of that. And so with her, she's the same way, and she doesn't have Twitter, but we share a lot of the same values and beliefs and fundamental ideologies. So where I stand, a lot of times she stands, and then sometimes we have that discussion, and she'll be like, oh, I agree, but this is this and this is that, and it's like, honestly, like what I put on social media a lot of times, or I am very opinionated, but like she's opinionated too. She just doesn't put everything out there on social media.
But does her highly opinionated opinions match yours, or do they challenge yours? Because that's my point. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to.
We don't always disagree, but I think
because again, and I started to cut you off because I'm very open where I accept whatever and I understand because I have that empathy with people. But maybe you'll be probably less empathetic because of how opinionated you are on certain topics and whatever it is. Do you think that you could be with her if she was more? She was highly opinionated on the other side, or the fact that she has the same opinions, or at least more in your. She
does lean more towards what I believe.
Okay,
but I like the fact that we do have that conversation where it's like, yo, look at what this is happening. This is happening in our country right now. This is what's going on. What do you think about this? So I open up the floor for her to be vocal and tell me, hey, this is how I feel. And I think that's a green flag too, where it's like, I'm not just dogging my way. I'm like, I want to know what you believe. I want to know how you feel. And for the most part, we do align, which I think is important, but not always. And so I think we do challenge each other, and we have that healthy, open, honest discussion where it's like, you tell me how you feel, and I can tell you how I feel. And it doesn't matter that we always don't agree with each other.
That.
So that's healthy too.
And then, so Luch, back to what you were saying.
I would consider this also.
Put the mic a little bit closer to your face.
I would consider also this a green flag, or when your partner acts the same way with you at the house or alone, and then they act the same way with friends or other people. I think that's a green flag. if you start changing the way that you are when you're with other people, I consider that a red flag.
That is true.
Well, but I think it also depends because, you know, the way I am with you will not be the same way that I'm with Gabe, the same way that I'm with
Well,
Carl.
no, not like that. This
yeah.
is different. This is, I would say.
And it's,
Friends could be different.
I
it's
think
different if you're in a romantic
I no, but I think what you mean is more of like, oh yeah, bro, like this is super like to the point, but
Yes.
it's like, oh yeah, cheese, oh yeah, I love cheese. I've gone all over the place. I love wine, and then when you get home, and it's like, who the fuck are you? We've never gone to get cheese. We don't get wine. You fucking hate that shit.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
that's
what I
more
mean.
exact,
That's
but
what
there's
I mean.
obviously other
get what
more
you mean.
examples
Yeah, that's what I mean.
that it can be like, you know, you're not the same person you are here than when you are with me, and that can be, it's almost uncomfortable because it's like, now who am I dating? You know? Are you just being like this because you're with me? Are
exactly.
you
Like,
are
what
you,
is it? What's going on? Is
who are you really?
Who's the real you?
Which was that was the biggest issue with my ex.
Yeah,
and
I hate that.
it's funny because she called me the other day and we kind of finally got like full closure, right? And we were talking, and one of the things she hated about me was that she thought that when I was with her, I was someone completely different than when I was with my friends. But I think it was because, I wanted to be better for her because I knew that she was my girlfriend.
Wow.
But I still had the pullback from like you and then our older friends who are worse influences at the time. So when I was with them, I would now change. But I knew when I was with her, I wanted to be better, not just for her, but for myself, because she was bringing that out of me. So one thing that she hated was that she thought I was just not like, she's like, I dated you because you were the mess that I started dating. That's who I wanted to be with, right? But for you wanting to change, like you putting this front, like I didn't think it was genuine. But for me, it was because I wanted to be better. Yeah. But she just didn't see it like that. She saw it more like that.
Man. The fact that you're aware, I think it's a great step. So you guys got closure now?
Yeah. Well, remember, like I told you, like I'm really cool with a lot of my exes and with a lot of people in general. And even if I've had bad blood or if I've dated them just one day, and it ended poorly, I've been very cool with.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So
Ryan,
I do have a question for both of y'all. Are we still good with the camera over there? Do you guys do any active work towards bringing more green flags in the relationship, or do you guys just allow, especially you, because I know you've been a lot longer with her, you're a little bit more fresh. Do you guys put a little more effort to be more active in positive energy with the relationship, or you guys just let the relationship work?
No, I would say it's always good.
Because last time when we had you here, by now the episode will be out, you said that, you know, I should communicate more. I should be more. So things like that, that's you actively doing.
Yeah, I think you should constantly always be doing that.
But is there something that you're actually like, hey, babe, let's 1 hour a week, let's sit down.
Better communication, more time.
Or like, let's write something down. Like, do you guys do any of that? Maybe not. You're a little bit more.
I think that's, no.
So you don't?
I think that's, I don't know. I don't know.
More therapeutic, but
yeah. But
I just
that's
wonder.
A good thing. That's a very good thing. I would say that I would really work a lot. That's like you say, that's like therapy.
It's just extra effort between understanding the relationship and making more of a, hey, let's okay, if we want to continue making this healthy, like I love you, like this feels great. Let's just have one day. Let's sit down and let's just talk about how you're feeling or how you, like what can we do better, like, or do you feel like everything is great? Like, you guys do anything active like that, or any practices?
I mean, I think I'm in a very unique position where when we sit down and we have guests like Dr. Hasty, like I pick up a lot of knowledge and then I transition that into into that relationship. So whether it's me, hey, like this is what we had, this is who we had, this is what's going on, what do you think about this? So I have that dialogue. I challenge a lot of the things that happen in here and bring that into my relationship, to what we have going right now. So it's like, you know, even like episodes that come out, she watches it, she's like, oh my God, I really like this. Or, you know, even before it comes out, this is what happens. This is what happens. And so we talk about it. So I think I'm practical when it comes to what's going on here, to having that reflect into my relationship. We do sit down, do I write things down? Maybe we're not really there yet, I guess, as far as long term.
Too new into
but I'm aware of green flags and the red flags and what we learn here and the stuff that we do here that translates into the relationship for sure.
Yeah, so I mean, this episode is gonna be probably a little under an hour, but I don't know what you're telling me. Like, no, to like studio. No. But well, I think we've covered enough, and I don't want to exhaust the audience. Yeah, if they've even made it this far. But those who have, appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
But yeah, I think that was great, gentlemen. Thank you for sharing. And so last time I had you here, you said that you were going to be more active and putting more effort into communicating. What are you doing?
I did say that I haven't been doing that because fortunately, it's a lot of things since the last episode that.
Oh yeah, you have your own personal stuff.
Sure.
No, it's a lot of things in our life in general that I don't want to say we don't have time for, because we should always have time for everything. But it's been very difficult when it comes to putting time aside for that.
Well, yeah, you guys have
now different jobs, new jobs. It's just a lot of things.
No, that's what I'm saying. A lot of personal things going on in your lives, even if it is together. I feel like this is also a little bit a part of that, because you guys are knocking this out together. You guys have to make it work together. Subconsciously, not actively, but. Well, next time we record, we'll circle back, because I'd love to learn, what you're doing differently and how you're making it better. And
I
you,
think
sir,
good. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing and opening up, because it's a lot of. I feel like this is going to be extremely beneficial, because now you're going to have a different perspective that may even challenge mine, given now your current situation. Yeah. I think it's only going to make this better.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's gonna be healthy. A lot of people were like, "Oh, two single guys talking about relationships. What the fuck y'all know about?" But I think we've done a great job thus far, and we've brought people to the table that normally wouldn't have that open discussion. I think, which is great. So I think moving forward, I'm excited to see what we can get out of each other.
Absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for watching.
It's time to.
Oh yeah, it's time to break up.
Time to break up. No, you're good.
It's so long, dude.
Carry on.
It's time to break up, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you once again for watching. Remember, you can listen to us on Spotify, iTunes, and Amazon. We still on SoundCloud? You wrap that shit up. Yeah, fuck that.
Fuck that shit.
You can watch us on YouTube. And most importantly, you can follow us on our social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Please like, comment, share, subscribe to everything that you can. It's just a button, and don't be stingy with them. Help us out, because it's going to create this conversation, and we're going to keep on sharing the message, and the whole goal is to continue helping people. All right, so
thanks again. So much, guys. Also, we do have a website, thecoffeebreakup.com.
Thecoffeebreakup.com.
It's quite nice. Head on to check it out. Let us know what you guys think. We got some merch. We got the newest episodes. We got what else? If you guys have questions, need advice, shoot us.
You can write to us if you have it. Not so much with advice. I don't want to bombard us with too much advice right now. We're trying to create an outlet to do so.
Structure, yeah.
But right now, if you can buy something, it's highly appreciated, because again, that just goes towards us continuing doing this. And this isn't free. A lot of people, they think, well, man, now I got to pay for you guys, or you want me to buy your stuff? I want to support you by just watching. And it's like, I understand, but in order for us to continue putting in the work and continue putting in the time and continue giving the attention to you guys, the guests, the topics, the episodes, the business, it all helps. So we're not forcing you, but if you do, highly, highly, highly appreciate it. And we thank you for that.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, till next time.
Thank you so much, guys. Ciao.